Hey Hakaishians, is everything alright? Here is Max. It is a fact that Jiren is one of the most powerful and popular characters to have ever appeared in Dragon Ball Super. We had a little bit of his story revealed in the anime and manga, but it still wasn't enough. We still know very little about him. We've had a lot of information thrown in the anime and manga that gives us a little base to create a timeline, a story linking all the information. I decided to take Jiren's plot and all the information we know about his past, and based on this official information I'm going to create a story in the form of a theory about what his dark past was like. Let's get to know more about the enigmatic warrior from Universe 11, so stay connected on the channel, and let's get to the video. It all started about 240,000 years ago in Universe 11. At that time there was a god of destruction called Kuroko. This Hakaishian did everything for justice, and for that reason he recruited the strongest mortals in his universe to help in his work. Kuroko set up an organized group to fight evil in Universe 11. This organization was called the Pride Trooper, and the leader of the group at the beginning was Kuroko himself. In the midst of this troop there were two warriors who had the power above the majority. They were the highlight of the troop. One of them was Jiren, and the other Vermouth. Both were rivals and friends at the same time. Kuroko, seeing the potential of those boys, decides to train them personally, as he believed that the future of the universe was in those children's hands, and also believed that one of them could replace him as a Hakaishian someday. After many years of training, the power of these two increased in an incredible way, and Kuroko says that he had nothing left to teach them. So they decide to return to the front lines of the Pride Troopers and fight side by side with their companions. Some time passes and the Pride Trooper gets a red flag about an energy that was destroying entire planets, so they all head to the spot immediately. When they get there they come face to face with a terrifying monster. Vermouth confidently tells everyone to back off as he would show the results of his training with Kuroko. Vermouth alone tries to face the monster, but he can't do much. As a result he was beaten by the creature. Jiren, as the newest Pride Trooper leader, says that it would be impossible to defeat that demon alone, and that everyone should fight together. Vermouth refuses to work as a team, and I decided to get out of that fight, and he says he didn't want to take orders from Jiren. Jiren, after saying goodbye to Vermouth, leads an attack against the demon, but the creature was too strong and ends up killing everyone. When Jiren was about to be killed by the demon, Master Kuroko appears and saves him at the last moment. The Hakaishian makes one last request to Margarita, the angel who helps him, and asks her to take Jiren as far away from that planet as possible. Suddenly a big explosion happens. Both Kuroko's ki and the demon's ki disappears. Margarita, already far away along with Jiren, realizes that the Hakaishian sacrificed himself to seal that demon. She says that he did it because he knew the universe was safe since he had Jiren and Vermouth to replace him. Margarita offers the position of Hakaishian to Jiren, who decides not to take it, but he says that Vermouth would definitely take it, for Vermouth always wanted to surpass its master to occupy the position of God of Destruction. In that dialogue between Margarita and Jiren, it was very clear that the warrior cared about his friends and his master, but Vermouth was only using Kuroko to get stronger. Later Vermouth accepts becoming a god of destruction with extreme ease, showing no sadness at the death of his master. After all that had happened, Jiren and Vermouth had gone their separate ways, and the Pride Trooper were no more. Vermouth believes that with his strength he would be able to protect the entire universe, and that his master just couldn't kill that demon because he wasn't strong enough. Jiren, after seeing all those deaths and doing practically nothing to stop them, decided to abandon the fights and live a normal life as a citizen from some planet. Years later, when Jiren was in peace in the universe, he ends up feeling the same power that killed his master on a nearby planet. Without thinking too much about what could happen, he uses the most of his strength to go to this planet in an attempt to save everyone, but just like his friends in the past, everyone had been massacred. Then Jiren hears a child's scream, and when he gets there, he realizes that the demon that killed his master and his friends is back. Before he can do anything against the demon, the creature disappears, so Jiren takes this child along with him, as he understood that little boy's pain and knew that it would be difficult to deal with everything that happened alone. Sometime later, Jiren goes to Vermouth to ask for help to defeat the demon, but the Hakaishian refused to help. Before leaving, Jiren says that he is going to rebuild the Pride Trooper, and that he had found a very interesting boy, with unlimited potential, and this boy could surpass them both. But Jiren says that the boy still had some problems, and that he had the same mindset as Vermouth, of doing everything himself. After a few years raising Jiren as his own son and training him as best he could, he tells Jiren that now they should look for new people for the team, powerful people to defeat the demon. Jiren doesn't like this idea and thinks it's a waste of time, as Jiren only thought about being strong enough to defeat that monster alone. His master, whenever he heard that kind of comment, always said that Jiren wouldn't make it, so Jiren trains trains harder and harder to show how strong he could be. Sometime later, when both Jiren and the Pride Trooper were already very powerful, the monster appeared again. Jiren believed in his current power and thought he was strong enough to defeat the creature, and so he decided to go it alone to defeat the demon without any help. When Jiren arrives to face the creature, he takes a huge beating, and when he was ready to die, his master sacrifices himself by dying in his place. Jiren receives the help of all the members of the Pride Trooper, but unfortunately they all end up dying. After this battle, the demon disappears again and leaves only Jiren alive. After all this, Jiren feels terribly weak and powerless, and becomes even more obsessed with gaining power. After all these events in Jiren's life, he decided to focus his efforts on his training to become the most powerful being. Vermouth, feeling a little guilty for not having helped his friend and rival Gichin, decides to continue the Pride Troopers and recruit new warriors. And these warriors are those guys we knew in the Tournament of Power. And then he called Jiren to join that group and said that in that group Jiren would get stronger and stronger, and that's how Jiren got into the Pride Trooper. As we saw in the Dragon Ball Super manga, Jiren just wanted to revive his master with the Dragon Balls and show how powerful he's become. At the end of the tournament, the Universe 7 helped him realize that all the thoughts he had about his master were wrong, and that his master just didn't recognize him in the past as Jiren didn't recognize the true meaning of teamwork. This is my theory about the possible history of Jiren, his master, the Pride Trooper, and also the Hakaishi in Vermouth. Remembering that the demon that Jiren wants to defeat hasn't died yet and is definitely somewhere in Universe 11 or the multiverse, and from what we can see, this dark creature has a monstrous power, and very possibly we can have an entire arc in Dragon Ball Super involving this being, since Jiren is a character that became very popular there in the Tournament of Power. While much of this story is my theory, I used official information to create this story too. The first one is that Vermouth ended up being part of the Pride Trooper, as Toyotaro himself showed this in an image, and the curious thing about this image is that in addition to Vermouth is wearing the uniform of the troop, the uniform is torn, and he is injured and kind of nervous, meaning he had just been through a very arduous fight that he probably lost, and that fight could have been with some very powerful creature, or with another troop warrior that appears in the corner of the image. And the second official information is that it is actually said in the manga that Gichin was more powerful than Jiren, and it was Jiren himself who said that. So adding these two pieces of information, we can conclude that Gichin was stronger than Vermouth too, so he was a powerful member of the Pride Trooper. So, Hakaishians, what did you think of this story? It makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? Do you have your theories about all this story too? Leave it in the comments, I will love to read it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave your like, and subscribe in the channel till we became 2000 Hakaishians. Until next time, bye bye.